So, Headley's Booby. Not because he invented it. Every time he fished the lake in teeth, he practically insisted on having it in his cast all the time. Hence why the name Headley's Booby. It's basically a variation on a cat, but the colour combinations are really quite striking, providing a lot of contrast, and I think that's the key of it. So, first thing we do is we get a hook in the vise. This is a standard wet fly, size 10, competition hook. You can tie it in 12s, but because it's a cat booby, I much prefer the 10. I've got 2 threads, fire orange, and a chartreuse. So I'll start with the chartreuse, because that's what colour the body is going to be. I'm just catching the thread. I leave a little space at the front for my booby eyes. And tie in down to a point opposite the barb with touch and turns. Let your thread up, pull it back against the body, and it'll just ping off, just like that. So I've got some spring water blue marabou, Davy Downey stuff, and I'm going to take a wee pinch for the tail. Not too much, 2 centimetres or so, off the feather. Spin it in my fingers to bind the fibres together, and then catch it. And I catch it at the point where my booby eyes are going to be, so I've got a bit of space. Then I can cut that at an angle. Just wind it down, lock the thing in place. Really quite easy. Come up, snip these at a light angle, and it just makes everything a lot neater when you're tying in the booby eyes. So, Bill McElroy's FRONZ. Great stuff, this. It's basically on a thick core, loads of little strands, and different strands to catch the light. Now, the original is just a chartreuse straggle. However, this one, I much prefer the FRONZ. It's just got that glint and sparkle up near the surface, and again down deep, depending where you're fishing in the water column. So, attaching that to the hook shank, down to the tail, and then get my thread back up to my tying off point. So when you're winding this up, just make sure you stroke the fibres back. They're all going back the same way. I got lucky with this one, the fibres are heading back that way anyway. And just lock it in place. So we've got a nice bulky body there. But what I'll do is I'll use my thumb and forefingers, I'll push those fibres back. Again, cut this at an angle as well. Few thread turns just to secure it, and then good hard push with your thumb and forefinger. Give it a wee rub, and it just strokes all the fibres back out of the way. Sort of cloaking that tail is what you're after. In again with the thread. Leave a little point here, because this is going to be your tying in point. And again, in with feather. A little bit more on the wing than he did having the tail. I'm going to splay this either side of the hook. Again, rub it in your thumb and forefingers. And if you just stroke the fibres with your nail and your thumb and forefinger, you'll get a flat spot. Just makes it easier for tying in, less bulk. And what I like to do is I like to spread it. So with my thumb, just sort of get it around the hook, around the body if you like. Gets a bulkier, better profile. And again, snip at an angle. And then just tidy up the head area with your chartreuse thread. Thumb and forefinger, pinch everything, and then just rip the fibres to give you your international rules size. If you rub it the way I just did with your thumb and forefinger backwards and forward, it creates a really nice body profile. Rather than everything being cut at angles and straight, or if that makes sense, 90 degrees. It just looks fluffy. Better fly. So I come off with that thread, and I'm now in my fire orange because I'm going to come in with my red booby cord, and this one's 7mm booby cord. Get rid of that tag end. Just tidy up a few thread wraps. That's a fly there. That's a fly in itself. Get a bit of varnish on that for your hotspot. And that's a fly on its own. But, booby eyes. Cat works far better with booby eyes. And this is like orangey red booby eyes. Like I say, 7mm. Get my thread in the centre. Just do a couple of wraps and I'll lock it in place. You can see if I keep that under tension, it's solid. And I'll just wind that onto the hook shank until they're central. It'll bed in. And what I do with this is, when I've secured it, I do 3 wraps around one eye and the hook, and then turn it and 3 rounds around the other. And what it does is it straightens everything up and it stops it spinning, stops it moving. So 3 wraps, 3 wraps. You can figure a weight in between it as well. But usually those 3 wraps, either booby eye and round the hook shank, it secures everything in place. Make sure the fiber's out of the way. Just push those eyes up with the tying thread. And then just come in and whip finish. That's a fly done. Again, I managed to cut some fibres there. Just tidy it up. Pair of scissors is the best thing. And when you get to my age, a little bit older, your eye sort of starts to go. I'm not quite at the stage where I look like a biology buffin scanning a petri dish. Seen some of these boys with their goggles. But certainly the eyesight's not what it used to be. Just trim that little stray end there. And that's your Headley's booby. Just a little bit of varnish to secure. Keeps the eyes stiff on a booby as well, so it helps. And there you go. Headley's booby. Deadly throughout the year, especially so deep down in the summer. Again, autumn, September, October, really, really good. It's got that glint, it's got that sparkle, but basically cat's whisker. Just a really good fly to have in your cast. Sinking line or floater. Give it a bash, folks. You'll not be disappointed. If you enjoyed that, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. Lots more on there. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.